Wow.
All right, man. So
Exciting.
I think that you have a little YouTube exclusive story,
I
huh?
do. I do. So I think this was Tuesday. No, it wouldn't have been Tuesday. It would have been like Wednesday. I was running on the treadmill at the gym, fucking just going hard. I was like, I had it in my head. I was like, I'm gonna try to get a sub sandwich afterwards. So I want to run. No, I was like, I want to get a sub 25 uh 5K. So you have to run at like 7.5 miles per hour. So the first mile, I'm doing it. Like, yeah, this is great. Second mile, I fucking have to taper back way too much, and I'm not able to do it. But so I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm gonna like my top time for like 7 miles was 74 minutes. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just beat that. That's gonna be my goal now. Since I had to taper back and I completely there's no way I can unless I want to run like 15 miles per hour in this last mile, which I know I can't do. Uh,
Just gotta dig deep, man.
yeah, I know. It's about drive, it's about power. I just wasn't hungry. Um, but so then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. And so I start upping my pace, and I'm getting there. Like it's getting close to 7 miles per hour, and like at this point, I'm running. I think it was 8.5 miles per hour, and like it's getting closer. I'm like, I want to be right around 72 minutes. That was my mind goal, and it's really close. And so I was upping it. I upped it past 9 miles per hour. I was getting close to the 10. Right when I hit the 7 mile mark, it was like 72:40 something. It's not that good of a time, but it was good for me. So I was like, I was happy with it, and like I hit the stop button. I'm like just crouched down. I'm just exhausted, and I pee myself. Like not a lot, but it was enough. And then I'm like, oh damn. Like just like dribbles came out, and then I was like, well, I can't pee anymore. I know that. Like and it's like, nope, there's some more.
You were really excited about that time.
Yeah, it's like one of those things, which is it's hilarious that it happened with like a 72-minute 7 miles, because it's like, oh yeah, you hear that when like just these like marathon runners are like running, like sub 3 hours, and like all this different shit. And it's like, yeah, I did that too. It's 72 minutes for 7 miles.
And then I pissed myself.
Yeah.
Well, hey, man, I'm proud of you.
Thanks for peeing myself.
What? I don't know, just in general.
Oh, thanks, bud.
Well, my week was also kind of exciting. Not piss myself exciting, but I did see a couple concerts this week.
Nice. They must not have been very good if you weren't pissing yourself.
Well, I don't know if anything's quite that good for me. But yeah, so Thursday I saw, um, and I went to a show last week too and forgot to talk about it. I saw Hot Mulligan and the Wonder Years last week. And then this week I saw Bearings, Real Friends, and Knuckle Puck, which was awesome. And then last night I went and saw our friend Mike and Levi, their band, I Like Snaps. And by they I mean Mike did the theme song for Anime Boys for us. So yeah, that was cool too. Glad I got to see them. Casey and I saw them once a long time ago, but they started playing shows again, so I wanted to go and support. That was pretty fun. But yeah, all the concerts were awesome.
I'm really grateful that I got an invite. Like I like music.
What do you mean invite? They posted it all over Instagram to buy
No, no,
tickets.
no, no. I meant like all of the concerts you go to. You're just like, I don't need Casey here. I got other people that I can just go see music with.
I can't get you to come down and watch a movie with me, let alone go to a concert at night.
Hey, maybe I just like the music. I don't know.
I mean, I did. I'll say I turned you on to Hot Mulligan, and by that I mean you liked the one song I
Yeah.
suggested. So maybe you would have done that one.
Hot Mulligan, also, I think I've said this before. It sounds like one of two things: sex position, obviously, but then also it sounds like something that you would get at a Midwest restaurant. Like, yeah, one hot mulligan. You're like, what's a hot mulligan? It's where you get a bunch of fries and some type of meat, and you cover it in gravy and cheese. Oh, 2 hot mulligans, please.
Well, the music is just as tasty as the food. All right. Mad Lib?
Yeah, you want to do the talk about the March Madness and then Mad Lib?
Let's talk about that on the actual pod because I
All right.
don't know that anyone comes to the YouTube for the March Madness.
I mean, who knows? We gotta get them clicks. Oh,
It's
dude,
true.
speaking of getting clicks, like since I don't know how your PayPal's set up as far as with the show, I signed us up for an affiliate link on this anime website. So it's like, oh, if they use the code I'm Casey Morse too, because it's under my email, we'll get like 5% kickback on anything that they do. So it's like random shit like Gundam backpacks and Neon Genesis backpacks and all this type of nonsense.
Nice. It sounds like it's actually cool stuff. I didn't know
Yeah.
what you meant exactly by that, but
I'll send it to you too so you can see it and then we can put it in stuff.
sounds good to me.
Fanny
We're
packs.
we're gonna be rolling in fanny pack money.
Dude. Like, I'm not gonna lie, some of that shit looks like they have a Common Rider fanny pack. There's a good chance I'm gonna buy that and use the affiliate link for that.
I support it, man. Fanny packs are making a comeback.
Dude, 100%. And I mean, I run with one sometimes. I have like a special runner's fanny pack.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the elasticity is running away on it. So like halfway through like a mile, it'll start like drooping down. So like the other day, I had to like wear it like I was an Cyclops, like this way.
Yeah, that it's you wear it like a belt bag. I actually
Yeah.
wear one, so
Well, like it's mine's not supposed to be like that.
oh,
It's
okay.
just like, oh, this elastic's not working anymore. You gotta fix this up.
Sounds like it's time for a Common Rider one then.
I mean, very much so.
All right. This one is called Totally Awesome. So let's make it totally awesome.
Yeah.
A noun.
Um, let's go with Godzilla, the most awesome thing.
A noun.
Let's go with Cars, something else real awesome. God, if Godzilla drives a
Car.
car,
Oh, okay.
if Godzilla drives a car in this, we're gonna have to make this on Pornhub only because I'm gonna be gooshing everywhere.
Okay. Gushin. An adverb, your favorite.
Oof. Violently.
A noun.
Um, something else that's awesome. Let's go with doors.
Okay.
They're pretty fucking cool.
Adjective.
Uh, meaty, girthy, whichever one you prefer.
Well, I already wrote meaty, so save that
Okay.
for the next one.
Okay.
Noun.
Balls.
I'm gonna change it a little bit to fit this.
All right. Sometimes I have to change my balls up to fit.
Weird, but okay.
Dude, I wear tight pants. You know this.
Part of the body.
Man, I just lost out. I guess I'm just gonna have to go with an old classic. A big old schlong.
Lips are right on the microphone. Oh man, that fits so well too.
I mean, that's what she said.
I'm gonna use your adjective here.
Okay.
Girthy. Part of the body.
Oh man. A big old flappy pussy.
At least you're mixing it up, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be sexist.
Of course not.
Yeah.
We're not that kind of show.
No, we got hot dogs and clams watching this, so we gotta appeal to both.
A male person.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Okay, that was a little unexpected. Boy, this is gonna be a doozy. This is gonna be a doozy.
I hope he's not the hero.
Oh, well, okay, an adjective.
Um, let's go with
Think of who you just put down, by the way.
yeah, heroically.
A plural noun.
Let's go.
You know what? I got this one.
Yeah.
Yep.
What you putting?
You'll see.
Okay.
A celebrity.
Let's keep it, of age.
Please.
Matt Groening, known friend of Jeffrey Epstein. That's a fun fact. Google it.
Was he the Simpsons guy?
Yeah, he was like flying on Epstein's plane, and he had an underage girl massage his feet, and then he was like, "Oh, just to make it so it's not near as creepy, here's a picture of Bart." And so, like, all of the Simpsons fans are like, "Well, he gave her a picture. She's clearly not that messed up over it." It's like she was human trafficked. Like, it's clear there's a lot of issues that are probably she needs help with.
Dude, people will defend anybody for anything. It's insane to me.
Yeah, all you have to do is do one thing they liked, and then it's like, oof.
Yeah.
I'll fight it to the end.
An adjective.
Bloodedly.
A noun.
Some tits. Or just one tit, since it's just a noun. You gotta say it with a southern drawl, though.
Okay, I'll try. Another person.
Let's go with Jacob Dilly.
Okay. I'm just gonna put my first name though.
Oh no, Jacob Edward Dilly.
A noun.
Trying to think of something that makes me think of Jake. Video games.
All right.
This one's kind of gone off the rails.
Oh, I don't think you have any idea.
All
right. Totally awesome.
This is like the worst Marvel comic. Totally awesome. Jeffrey Epstein.
Have you misplaced your favorite Godzilla? Has your chow gone missing? Well, you've come to the right car. Here at Chaotix Detective Agency, we'll violently solve any mystery that's plaguing your doors. Our meaty leader, Vector, is one tough ball sack with a super big ol' schlong. But don't let his girthy exterior fool you. Underneath it all, he has a kind, big ol' flappy pussy. Just wait, it gets worse.
Fantastic.
And if you need something tracked down, look no further than Jeffrey Epstein the Bee.
Shit.
Although he is heroic and full of energy, Jeffrey Epstein B will stop at nothing to find your missing kids.
Oh, shit.
The final member of the team is Matt Groening the Chameleon. This bloody ninja tit is the agency's top investigator. He has the power to camouflage himself and can spy on Jake by blending into any video game and hiding out of sight.
Nice.
That's one crazy team.
He'll just be like, "Yeah, Jake, come on, play this controller." The controller's just his mangled foot. It's like, come on, play with it. You're a little old for me, but come on.
Gosh, but it's like the Game Boy printer though. It prints out a picture of Bart whenever you're done.
He's like smoking like, why is my N64 smoking a cigarette?
Oh man, that was truly something.
Something magical.
Let it be known, Casey and I, neither one of us agree with pedophilia or human trafficking.
That's a fact.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Two Worlds podcast. I'm Jake, and with me, as always, is the Tilda Swinton to my Doctor Strange. It's Casey. What's up, buddy?
It was weird. You didn't go, oh, right, like you normally do.
I know. I'm keeping you on your toes.
I know. I'm not editing it this time, so it's not near as big of a deal.
That's true. Oh, man. How has your week been, my dude?
Not too bad, man. I mean, just today was pretty much a lazy day. Outside of having to be frustratedly staring at my computer screen while it's like, don't worry, this update's just gonna take a couple seconds, and it's like, oof, 40 minutes later.
Before we get into the news, we're gonna do the March Madness winners. But before we get into that, real quick, last week's episode of The Mandalorian, I'm talking spoilers here for a hot sec because I know Casey doesn't care. We get a flashback about Grogu, Baby Yoda, if you didn't know his name, Casey.
I know his name.
And the flashback takes place during Order 66. And Grogu is escaping Coruscant, but he gets help by one Jedi. And the Jedi, I don't know the Jedi's name, but he's played by the actor Ahmed Best, who was Jar Jar Binks. So it's like, I was like, dang, that guy looks so familiar. Like, I know this guy is somebody. And I looked it up afterwards. I was like, holy shit, it's Jar Jar.
That's hilarious. Now, he didn't do the voice, correct? He just did the, like,
I'm pretty sure he did the voice.
He did the voice? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought they actually got a voice actor, proper.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he did. But man, you know how the internet is, and you know how Star Wars fans are. Everyone's like, this character, spin-off. It's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's
you
like,
know how
okay.
You know how Disney is too, though. They're like got the Star Wars teats, like you said spin-off, and the cows is like, no more. For the love of God, no.
I know. The thing is like, I wouldn't mind a cool spin-off like mini series about, a rogue Jedi after Order 66. So we'll see. Here's what really bugged me about that episode. It was a good episode, but Order 66 is happening. We're seeing stormtroopers just gun down these Jedi. Like 5 clone troopers gun down 3 Jedi. And I'm like, that doesn't happen. There's no fucking way.
I mean, okay. Before I get to my another spicy Star Wars take that no one asked for, I will say, I mean, we saw in, the third Star Wars movie that was happening because it was a surprise attack. Like they didn't see it coming. All the other crap, like you actually had big old head boy getting shot down by, what was it, like 3 troopers? Like he killed one, but then they just got him. So
here's my problem though. Only in those movies would a Jedi get gunned down by a couple of troopers. In every other Star Wars media, they're deflecting every bolt. They're force pulling guns out of hands. They're doing like that. it doesn't happen anywhere else except for those movies in this episode. It's like, why are they such, pansies during this one thing? Like, I don't know. It's just not believable when in everything else Jedi are like the shit.
Yeah, well, and I'll toss this out there though. It's also kind of like it seems like, oh yeah, this is when they're kind of, oh yeah, they're like, oh yeah, this stuff's fine now. Like we got these clones, doesn't need, this is like, we don't have to worry about shit as much. So like they got weak, not weak, but they were just 100% off their guard, and then a lot of those ones that would have been there weren't like masters by any stretch of the imagination. Like I can see them getting taken down. Probably needed more troopers than that, but like at the same time, these troopers would have been supposed to be on par with like Jango Fett. So like
Well, yeah, yeah.
it's not like the stormtroopers that were in the original trilogy where it's like we can't hit anything.
These are
These
all
one
moisture farmers.
Yeah, like these ones are actual proper warriors that can actually do shit. So like it always like checks out with me. But like my spicy Star Wars take is, I think every time they're like, oh, we got another secret Jedi out here that's doing this shit, it lessens stuff from the original trilogy. 100%. It's like, oh, where were you then, bud?
Yeah. No, I totally get it.
And it's like I've been thinking that since it's like, what was that one show? Rebels?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that was a fine show, but what I watched of it, but it's also like you're lessening the main thing. It's the same thing with like the sequels where they're like, turns out that whole like prophecy of a chosen one, not really.
Yeah. I get it, man. I don't disagree with you. I think I'd be fine with it if, like you just said, they just showed like way more troopers.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, if you're gonna bring down the whole Jedi Order, there needs to be like a shit ton of them.
Oh, it'd be really cool too, and it would also, I think, probably be cheaper, just because it's like CG versus like actually having to hire actors. If they just fucking had warships just shooting down.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, it's gonna be hard to stop all that.
Yeah, like I don't think your lightsaber is really gonna be deflecting that one.
Exactly. But anyway, I digress. I just had to bring up the Jar Jar thing because clearly, with like hardcore fans, that was the topic of the week.
Yeah, I saw people posting the guy, and I was like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah. I mean, he looked cool. He did a good job, but it was, yeah, I mean, it was like 1 minute of screen time. So it's like,
Yeah,
it's just a cool little thing.
yeah. I just think it would make more sense if he gave his life getting Grogu away. Then it's like, oh yeah, then his life meant something, and it's not then just him going, well, gonna twiddle my thumbs while all of this other stuff happens.
Yeah. And like, if they are gonna do a spinoff, whatever he's dealing with better be some pretty heavy shit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, make me believe that he couldn't come help this. But anyway. All right, man. So last week we did polls on our social medias, Twitter and Instagram, for our March Madness of comic book costumes. And the votes are in. A lot more of you participated than we thought. So thank you very much. We hope that you continue it through the rest of the tournament. But Casey, if you will kindly read off the winners.
Okay. So I gotta hold on. Okay, so Capes won 7-2, which surprising no one.
Over who? Will you read like who they beat out to?
Yeah, give me one sec. I'll pull up the picture. So we have Capes beating Random Body Armor. No one really thought Random Body Armor was gonna win. Then Leather Jackets beat out Big Collars. Very disappointed. I was rooting for Big Collars. Big Collars are the bomb, but whatever. And then Underwear on the Outside beat the old Faceless Mask. Another disappointment, but whatever. It's
not
the classic,
unexpected,
I guess.
though.
Yeah, it's a disappointment, but not unexpected. Domino Masks beat Trench Coats. Again, not a surprise, really. Belts beat Sunglasses. It's a shame, but not a surprise. This one I'll say is the surprise, and maybe this will be the Cinderella of the thing. Random knives beat pouches. Like I had pouches as one of my favorites to take it all because the Liefeld push, but maybe the Liefeld push came from the random knives instead. And then we have the long hair, beard slash chest body hair that beat the old street clothes. And then also, surprising no one, cowls beat bandoliers. So we're going to be getting cowls versus hair. We're just going to go with hair this time.
Can I just say real quick?
Yeah,
I mean, I thought that one could have gone either way, really. I know
really?
cowls are like, pretty damn popular, but that one I wouldn't have been surprised either way.
See, I would have been personally. I think cowls is I wouldn't be surprised if that took it personally.
Yeah.
And then, but at the same time, I in my fantasy bracket, I had pouches going much further. So don't listen to me if you're gambling on this. Uh, but yeah, so they're going to be going against hair, and then we're going to have random knives going against belts. Then domino masks versus underwear on the outside, and leather jacket versus capes.
So again, we'll put everything on our socials, so be sure to check in there. I would say, like, as soon as you listen to this, if you're like a day one listener, like Tuesday, Wednesday, check then and put in your vote.
Yeah,
Or if it's past that, shoot us a message and let us know which ones you'd want.
yeah, well, I say just to get as much as as possible. If you're like listening to this and you go, "Hey, I'm gonna comment on the YouTube," do that. You can like get votes by doing the Instagram on our Twitter polls, which will be up for a week. Sending Jake an email, commenting on the YouTube. If like you're really invested, you can get 4 votes that way.
You certainly can. And like I said, a lot of people participated, so thank you very much. And we'll be sure to post a picture of like round 2. That way, if you miss like the stories, you can see a picture and be like, oh, okay, I want this over this.
Yeah.
All right. Moving along to the news, I had practically nothing this week. So I'll just do mine real quick, and then Casey, I'll let you take it away. One I added while I was waiting for your damn computer to update. I saw on Twitter through, I don't know, like Deadline or The Wrap or something like that, that a live action hybrid remake of the Aristocats is in the works at Disney, with Questlove set to direct the film. I hope that the cats are all like the movie Cats, like the new one. And if that's what they mean by hybrid, I know it's not, but I think that would be hilarious.
Yeah, I hate live action Disney movies anyway, from like not like all like, but like if you're like, "Oh yeah, let's remake this, cartoon into a live action." I hate that. But then I hate it even more when they're like, "Yeah, this cartoon that was mostly animals. Yeah, let's remake that into live action where we just CG all of the animals." It's like that's not live action. You're just doing a shittier animation.
And I think I speak on behalf of Just Preston where I say, just make them all furries. Let's see it.
Even the human parts.
Yeah,
Like,
why not?
ooh, it'd be really fun if they're like, we're gonna make the movie version of the Aristocats joke, but that Bob Saget would say, or like all the comedians have, like the one Aristocats joke where it's like just the filthiest thing they can say. Because the whole premise of it is like it's like this family walks into to a talent agent, and then you just say like they do this, and then you describe like the filthiest thing that you can do. Like every comedian, like every like big comedian has one of these, and then it'll end with them just going, and then the talent agent goes, "Well, what's that called?" And then it's called the Aristocrats.
I don't know
Maybe
that I've
that's
heard
what it's
that
gonna be.
before.
Yeah, like look, I think Bob Saget's is supposed to be pretty legendary. I don't remember it, but it's just yours. Like you hear it, you're like any of them, you're just like, oh yeah, okay.
That guy really tried his hardest to get out of his sitcom stereotype.
Yep.
Did he die? Am I
Yeah.
crazy? Okay.
He died.
I
Yeah,
thought
no,
so. Like
I was
last year, right?
I think it might have been 2 years now.
Okay.
Like it was around it was the like I think he died before Norm.
It was January 2022.
Okay. Well, never mind then. But yeah, because he passed away, and then like now you'll like every once in a while on my YouTube it'll pop up like the Norm Macdonald show with him, and it's like you're like, damn, this is pretty funny.
Norm was always hilarious, man. So
Yeah.
funny. But anyway, all right. Next up, so we got. I'm sure you saw it too, Casey. But
Oh
Zachary
yeah.
Levi confirmed some Black Adam drama. I'm sure everybody's heard this at this point. But I saw via via the Wrap again. Maybe this is where I was seeing the Wrap. They confirmed that in Shazam: Fury of the Gods, the Justice Society from Black Adam were recruiting. Well, spoilers if you still haven't seen Shazam, skip ahead.
Okay.
They were recruiting Shazam in the post-credit scene, but The Rock, being the egotistical man that he is, denied access to the director, and he had to make last-minute changes, adding 2 people from Peacemaker. And then something else said that The Rock was trying to restructure all of the DCEU centering around him and Henry Cavill's Superman, and that The Rock didn't allow Zachary Levi to cameo in a post-credit scene for Black Adam. And Zachary Levi posted a story with all that with the caption, "The truth shall set you free." So, man, the more that comes out about The Rock, it's like, damn, he really just fucking tanked everything, huh?
Yeah, it doesn't sound good with him, but it's also like one of the things I saw is him and like his production company, $7 or whatever, they were actually trying to take over WB. And like, you know, when with their restructuring, that was part of their like, oh yeah, we'll be the new visionaries behind this. And it's like, oh yeah, turns out Black Adam, you know, sucked.
Oh man. I thought, we already talked about it. I thought it was like perfectly okay, like a dumb fun movie, but by no means was it worth that those visionaries taking over everything.
Yeah.
Although, I'd be okay with more Henry Cavill Superman, but if it meant them being in charge of everything, then it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, and especially with just like because I don't know if you remember hearing this, but like as a non-Fast and Furious fan, I heard about this where the Fast and the Furious movies were coming out, and like Rock, Statham, and Vin Diesel had like things written in their contracts where like they had to look so strong in their movies and stuff, and it's like this is make believe. Like there's, and it's like I have a feeling with Statham anyway. I don't know about Vin Diesel. Like he seems like he's got a bit of an ego too, but at least with Statham, maybe because I like him most. He because like he was doing the Expendables movies where it's like just dumb fun. Where it's like, yeah, I have a feeling if the rest of the people were like, no, let's just have dumb fun, he would go along with it and look stupid too. Where it seems like The Rock is like, no, I gotta look really good. I gotta keep
Mm-hmm.
my gotta make sure I still stay strong in this. And
Do you think his like wrestling background is a big part of that? Where he just has to look the man all the time?
it might be because I mean, when he came up, that was, part of it, but still, like, I don't know. It's just, it's so dumb. There's just no need of that. So like, it's hard for me to even look at the wrestling side and like to justify it because Stone Cold, who beats women, when he was doing the Expendables, like he let himself get his ass kicked and like he got beat up on Chuck by Zachary Levi. Maybe that's what it all boils down to. The Rock's like, Stone Cold's an old friend of mine. You made him look like a fool when he beat him up 10 years ago.
It's
I hold
true.
grudges.
Yeah. I don't know. It is a shame. It is a shame because they try to do like some comedy type movies and to look like they have that fun side, but at the end of the day, if you have that in your contract, you're just a douche.
Yeah.
And like with Vin, if that's true, it's like, what other movies, bro? These are the only ones you're doing.
I mean, I think,
Of course you're gonna be the man in your own franchise with your own studio making it.
dude, he is Groot, man.
He is.
So he's got that going too.
I mean, like, let's be real. Fast and the Furious, that franchise makes a shit ton of money. But like, even if it didn't, I'm sure what he makes from voicing Groot would pay for whatever he wanted to do in those movies.
Oh yeah. No,
Anyway,
I was just speaking to him really quick. I think I was listening to Fast Friends, the No Dunks podcast I've talked about with you, and they were talking about like one time Dom had fell in the water, and they're like, I don't think Vin Diesel can swim because like the way he is in the water, it's like it's so robotic and so weird. With like the other people look natural. With him, it looks fake and weird. Like I don't think he can swim at all because he wasn't treading the water like everyone else.
right.
I'm
Hey,
like
maybe not. Some people can't swim.
he's like I'm too busy fighting the water. Don't need to swim.
Don't need to swim when I've got family.
Yeah, but no, I mean it sucks that I think the Black Adam shit could have been good had they done it well. Like had it been a start off as a series. If Black Adam was a series, they set up because they kind of set up, if I remember right, in the first Shazam, how they could have introduced him with like the broken throne, and like alluded to him that way and all this other stuff. And then at the end of like during the show, if they would have done this, where it's like Zachary Levi, his Shazam goes to meet Black Adam. He's like, hey, we're the same. And then, like, The Rock does his eyebrow. He's like, we're not the same. And then he hits him, and then that would then have Zach Shazam go to old Superman. He's like, it's going to take both of us. And then Shazam 2 have the fucking, have the poster be the two of them flying at Black Adam.
Yeah.
That'd be so rad.
And it would have worked too because Shazam post credit scene, he and Superman have lunch with Freddy. So like, yeah, it all could have worked out.
Guess they tried to get Cavill for that, but they couldn't for some reason.
Yeah, he was like filming something else. I think
Yeah,
I don't remember what. It might have
I
been The
think
Witcher or something.
it was probably partly that, and probably also the execs at the time were like, "Nah, you don't need him. Just make him headless."
I know. It would have been so cool too, because
Yeah,
man, he would have played. I just know that scene would have been 10 times better, and it was already really cool.
yeah.
Anyway,
All right, so we have a new Batman Beyond fan film in development. They have a Kickstarter, and their goal is 50K. Like you can look up Batman Beyond Year One if you're interested in helping them out. It's pretty neat. Like I'm interested in seeing how it goes. I'm not the biggest fan of fan films though, and I think 50K is not near enough money to make like a good live action Batman Beyond fan film. But who knows?
I mean, can that just get shut down at any time?
I don't know. Don't know how it works. Because like one time they did a like this one fan film got made for a Godzilla thing. I never saw it, but it was like hyping up, and I looked it up then, and like they got all the money raised, they made it, and then Toho right after they made it was like no, and so they had to stop it. But then Toho was like, fine, you can air it at G Fest for the fans that paid only. And so then that's what happened. So like I guess people that saw it liked it, but that's the only way you get to see it. That you got to see it was that way.
Right.
But
Yeah, I don't know. Stuff like that is so weird. Like I wouldn't even want to try it personally. It's like you're gonna put in all that work and all that money, and they can just be like, no.
just call it like Satman Beyond. And they're like, darn it, they beat us. All right, we're getting a Last Ronin game. It's gonna be God of War inspired. So that, I mean, it might work, or it might just be like one of those games where they're like, yeah, it's like God of War.
Like the point of view will be the same.
Yeah, and like the gameplay is gonna be kind of the same, but it's just be kind of herky jerky, and they're not, it. I don't know. I always hate any time when like a company's like, "Hey, we're doing this thing. It's a lot like this other thing you like."
I do too. Because I kind of rolled my eyes when they said that because it's like, what does that mean?
Yeah,
Like you're not giving us anything. You're just saying, like God of War, play our game.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it worked for James Gunn when he's like, "Hey, we're doing Green Lantern, True Detective. You like that, right?" Like, I mean, I guess, but like, can you give us more than that? True Detective, Green Lantern, God of War, Last Ronin.
So yeah, I don't really have any thoughts other than let's just wait and see what
Yeah.
gameplay looks like.
I wish it would have been like, we're getting Last Ronin, and it's gonna be like Mario Brothers, but in reverse. You're fucking that plumber up.
Or just like I don't know, man. It's like it's inspired by Sim City. It's like, wait, what? Just something way out of left field.
Yeah. It's like, do you remember Roller Coaster Tycoon? Yeah, Last Ronin Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I mean, that gets me more excited than God of War, I'll be honest.
It's like a cosmic gumbo of God of War, Sim City, Roller Coaster Tycoon, and like
Manhunt.
Manhunt, and then also this Sega game Casey had that was Grover, like you were Grover from Sesame Street, and you had to like get a bunch of you worked as a waiter. It's that one also. It was a
Wow, that
counting game.
sounds like pretty intense gameplay.
Yeah, if you brought the guy back the wrong stuff, his head would like spin and his hat would shoot up. It was hilarious. And then every once in a while, a monkey would escape, and you have to go get the monkey. And then Grover would be like, "Monkey," and that was it.
We should
So we
play
got,
that on Twitch.
ooh, dude, let's do it. Let's do that at C2E2 weekend.
Okay, bring it.
Okay, so we got some pics of Lady Gaga from Joker. It's gonna be her as old Harley Quinn. It looks fine. There's nothing that I mean, it fits that universe.
Sure.
And
I
yeah,
saw it and thought the same thing.
yeah, it's just like it's impossible for me to get hyped for that movie since the other one was like, to me, very much overrated. So yeah, it's just like it's gonna be okay.
Right.
Oh, here's some spicy news. Jonathan Majors, everyone's current crush. Well, not anymore. He was arrested on assault charges, allegedly smacked and strangled his girlfriend. His lawyer says, "Hey, we got a lot of proof that this girl's lying." Her bruises, on the other hand, are saying, "No, no, this is my proof." So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. It's just like a lot of people were comparing him to Ezra, and it's like he needs to get his body count up if he wants to be compared to Ezra.
Well, right. And also, why are you comparing them? It's like,
Yeah.
well, if Ezra did it, it's like, hey, how about both of them get fucking fired for hitting
No, no,
people?
it
Like,
was it was more like people going like, "Oh man, he's going full Ezra."
no, I saw people defending him saying if
Oh,
Ezra still gets to be Flash, he should still get to be Kang. And I'm
oh,
like,
see, I didn't see that. I saw people going like the Spider-Man meme where it's like they're pointing at each other. It was Ezra and Jonathan Majors, and I saw that. I didn't see anyone defending that at all.
oh, there are plenty. There are
Okay,
that's like earlier when I was like people will defend anything, it was mostly in regards to this, where I'm
I
just like,
gotcha.
you people fucking suck.
What do you mean, you people?
You know exactly what I mean.
But no, I mean it's still one of those things where I'm not gonna sharpen my pitchforks until more stuff comes out because it's like, yeah, if the lawyer's not just doing his job and saying, "Oh, we got proof," it's like, well, we have to still kind of wait and see because it's due process. So we'll just wait and see, unless like news breaks again that's like, "Oh, Jonathan Majors just beat up a bus full of babies," like, and then his lawyer's like, "No, no, guys, I swear." We got proof that it wasn't him.
Yeah, we'll see, but it's not looking good.
No, not at all. Okay. Funko has cut back on Mondo. So Mondo, who makes awesome posters, I actually have 3 in my room right now. And they also do figures and vinyl and all that type of stuff. Funko bought them last year, and then like Funko's like, oh no, we're sitting on a lot of fucking Seinfeld Funko Pops over here with our friend Funko Pops right next to it. Who knew that big headed Joey wasn't going to be a hot seller? Um, let's just cut our Mondo price. You know, like our all our people working at Mondo because we just bought them and they're taking a lot of salary. Yeah, that'll do. So they fired a lot of them, and like the poster division's basically done, even though it's like they were selling out like every time.
Yep. And
So
giving jobs to comic people that make the posters.
yeah, so it doesn't really make any sense. It's like, I mean, I get, I 100% to me, it just comes off as like a businessman that doesn't actually pay attention to the actual business, and they just see the numbers and they're like, oh yeah, look at all this. It's like if it was me and I was the head of that, I would have been like, get rid of, like, have them stop doing the vinyls because a lot of the vinyls do sit. Have them stop doing puzzles because it's like you don't need to have like different puzzles come out for this type of shit, and have them cut back on the figures because that those are all things that you can cut back on, that because those will sit. The posters don't sit. The posters sell out so quick every single time. As someone that's tried to get them, they sell out. Like you have to be on the ball to get those posters. So it's like, keep that shit. Like keep, like, those are things you need to keep. The rest you can kind of get rid of. So yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And I think this is just gonna hurt Mondo a lot, and it's gonna keep hurting Funko because it's like this would have been a moneymaker, you'd think.
Yeah, I understand wanting to have like enough for everybody, but at the same time, man, you should order to sell out.
Yep.
Order to sell out. I don't understand the other way of thinking.
Yeah. So I don't know. Now we're gonna end on 2 fun things that are near and dear to old Casey boy's heart. IDW is making a Godzilla versus Pirates book. That wasn't on my bingo card for the year. It's called Godzilla Here There Be Dragons. It's by Frank Terrier and art by Inaki Miranda. Art in it looks out freaking standing. Did you see any of the pictures going around online?
No.
All right. Well, if you're looking it up, because it looks like you're maybe typing stuff up. If you are, pull it up on the big screen. Let's share a screen for a hot minute because so good. And yeah, I'm genuinely so pumped. I don't know how this is gonna work, but it should be pretty darn cool. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah, so I am very hyped. You gonna be checking it out?
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason for me not to. That sounds
Yeah.
like a very good time.
Now, what else had Frank Terrier done?
Oh, a ton. Frank
I know the
Thierry's
name.
done
I know the name, but I couldn't place it right off the top of my head.
like a bunch of Harley Quinn.
Okay.
There was another, maybe a Ghost Rider or something like that. Like he's done a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
Right on. And then we also finally got a proper trailer for the Gamera anime, and we got toys for the Gamera anime too. Gamera is a beefy boy in this new show. He's got a lot of chunk to him, and I'm all about that. I want a thick Gamera, and so yeah, we got that. It looks pretty solid. Like, it's not, the downside is the human look. It's still kind of like that cell shady kind of look that I always talk about I don't like, but I am still pretty hyped for it. It should be fun. It's going to be like through the eyes of the kids, which I think it works well with Gamera because Gamera's the friend to all children, and that's kind of like what the Heisei series was missing, in my opinion. Is like it had like the girl, but then the rest of the time it's like, that's it. We don't need kids in this. Where the other ones were like, yeah, sometimes they were the worst acting you've ever seen in your life, but it was still like fun. Outside, like, there's one where it's the dub act, like the kids they got were British and the dub actors were, so that when they were talking, they just got to do their own lines, and they're like, there was this little girl, she looked like a little monkey, and she's like, "Oh, I hate the camera," in her like really British, dumb British accent. And I'm like, I hate you, little girl. Like, holy crap! Like,
How
this
could you
little white,
hate Gamera?
yeah, this little white girl, this looked like a little monkey. I'm like, are you part ape, little girl? Or is that why you hate Gamera? Because he's a reptile and you're this old monkey?
The classic Civil War.
I mean, that's the true war that they don't talk about in Godzilla versus Kong. But that's the news, man. What'd you read this week?
I read Doctor Strange #1, She-Hulk #11, Nightwing 102, Dead Romans #1, Wonder Woman 797, and the Milestone 30th anniversary special. How about you?
No Superman?
I must have left it at work.
I gotcha.
That's a shame.
So I read Bluebook #2, Joe Fixit #3, The Flash 795, Superman 2, She-Hulk, or as I'm going to start calling her, Shulk #11.
That's a different character.
I know. Uh, World's Finest 13, and Doctor Strange #1.
I'll go first. I think we're pretty close anyways.
Yeah.
I'll be brief because we didn't have a lot of the same stuff this week. But the Milestone 30th anniversary special, lots of creators on it. Got Evan Narcissi. There's too many people working on this. I'm not going to name them all, but it was fine. There were lots of, it's any DC anthology book. Sometimes there's good ones, sometimes there's bad ones. But there was a really cool, like, Old Man Static, Batman Beyond book or story. But just look at Old Man Static.
Yeah, he looks way too cool.
Yeah, and by Old Man Static, that's just what Terry was calling him. He's like 35.
Yeah.
But yeah, the art is just so good.
Yeah, I love how, like, in the future stuff, it's usually like, they look like shit, and like Static, they're like, no, black don't crack, baby.
I know, right? So yeah, that was cool. That was by far my favorite story, but it featured a story for all of the Milestone characters, and it was fun. Some of them were just kind of meh, but overall, give it like a 7.5 out of 10.
Right on, man. Okay, so Bluebook #2 by James Tynan and art by Michael Avon Olmain. Art in this is fine. Story is pretty cool. Like, it's something that I would listen to a podcast about. Like, you get them just still traveling home, and they don't know how it took them 2 hours to get home, but they also don't remember the drive. And the wife's still like very much, oh, this is crazy. She does some different things. It gets put into Project Bluebook, which is like the government looking into it, and the wife's just like, like women do. She's just not dropping it. So she's gonna keep looking into it on her own. And like, as I read this, I'm just like, I want to read read about the real proper thing, even though Tynan's basically doing that. He's just, making it into a comic book form. So I'm curious to, see more about this. Like I said, I want to listen to a podcast about it. I think it's really interesting. And then we get the backup story, another one where I'm like, I want to read more about this too. Like, it's really interesting, makes me want to read more about stuff. Is it worth $4.99 if you're listening to this and you say, this stuff, like, I wonder what Casey thinks about this? It's not worth $4.99. Like, we get Superman. Let's get to that. It's beefier book, and it's better, and it's $4.99. So yeah, it's just not worth the price. But
especially when the trade's probably going to be like $17.99.
Yeah, 100%. But the one plus though is most of the money, I'm assuming, is going back to Tynan, so that is a plus. Whereas Superman, I don't think Williamson's seen most of that, so there is that. Yeah, it's if you like alien stuff and you like conspiracy stuff, I would recommend it. If you don't and you like Jake, don't read it. I'm gonna go seven
I
five.
like it when it's good.
Well, I
This
mean,
wasn't good.
you're not the type though to be like, oh yeah, I'm listening to this 2 hour long podcast on people that saw aliens.
That is
That's
very
the
true.
that's the target audience for this book. People like me, not people like you.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sitting here bashing Tynan
No,
or
no,
bashing you.
no.
It's
I
just it
know.
wasn't for me.
I know that's exactly what I'm saying though. Where it's like you're like, oh, I do like alien stuff. Like you like normal alien stuff. You don't like, you know, this type of alien stuff. Like this is a specific group of people
It's a
that this
deep
is
dive.
for.
All right. Wonder Woman 797. I want to show my variant by Joelle Jones because she's just awesome.
Nice.
Um, yeah, this is cool. So this is actually a tie-in with the Lazarus Pit or Lazarus Planet Revenge of the Gods thing. So I had to read the first issue of that too to get caught up because unfortunately this story arc is wrapping up Clunan and Conrad's run. So uh, and since they're writing that Lazarus Planet thing, it's like, all right, you'll get me on that so that I can see her run through.
I'm glad that you have to now read Lazarus Planet.
Yeah. I mean, at least it's by a creative team that I like.
Yeah.
Um, but it's pretty cool. Diana's got some really cool armor. She escapes from Hera, who left her for dead kind of after the betrayal of Zeus. Her little squirrel friend Ratatosk from the Asgardian arc came back and helped her out a little bit. And yeah, we get a lot of characters in this, a lot of like supporting characters, but all of it's brief. They all serve their purpose. It's well done. And at the end, Diana flies off to continue her war against Hera, and that's going to continue in this week's Revenge of the Gods. So this was fun. I like it a lot. Going to give it an 8.5.
Nice. Okay. Joe Fixit by Peter David and Yildiray Sinar. I am sorry because that's incorrect. But but no, it's like I said this last time. I'm gonna say it every time. This book is very good, but it's a Spider-Man book. But it's a Spider-Man book written by Peter David, so it's like, oh yeah, it's fun. But yeah, Spider-Man's the main character, and Joe Fix is just kind of like a secondary character. I like it though. I like Hulk. I like Peter David's writing. It's a lot of fun. I'm excited to see where things go. I'm gonna give it a probably 8 out of 10.
Nice. Um, talk about one of the better ones this week. Dead Romans, #1. It's written by Fred Kennedy with the art done by Nick Marinkovich. The art is just so awesome. Check that out.
That is pretty awesome, yeah.
And it's that good all throughout. I don't know. This kind of has like a Northlanders type feel, or just like a cool early 2000s Vertigo period piece book,
Yeah.
which is what I wanted out of it. But it's the Romans versus the Germanic army, and it's all kind of centered around a lady. Both sides want her for one reason or another, and it was just a cool setup. And there's going to be a lot of action next issue, so I give it an 8 out of 10, and I'm going to continue this
Nice,
series
dude.
anyway. Yeah.
Okay, so next for me, it's gonna be The Flash 795. And so this is by Jeremy Adams with Roger Cruz, George Cambada, and Fernando Passarin on the art. And so like First off, I'm just gonna say it's always kind of like we always talk about how it's kind of sometimes jarring when it jumps between artist to artist, you know. But when they actually give you a like a rhyme or reason why, so like there would be flashbacks, and it'll go from Roger Cruz to George Kamada, and so that's why it does the switch. So it's like it is jarring, but at least there's an issue. So like, oh yeah, this is the flash part, flashback part. Also, we get some Liberty Bell action. Jesse Quick's like, they don't we don't need Jesse Quick right now. Like today, the world doesn't need Jesse Quick. It needs Liberty Bell. So I'm like, ooh. As I read this, I think Jake's Liberty Bell senses were tingling, and he just got a little like his nipples got a little hard.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, so that she pops up in that. I really think when this is like all said and done, Jake, you should just like read a trade of it because I think you would really enjoy it. So yeah, they end up trying to figure out what to do. They're gonna be doing some time travel nonsense, and um Irie's like really excited. She's like, Father Wallace. That's not what she calls him, but I'm gonna say that's what she does. Like, Father Wallace can come back, my papa Wallace. And then they're like, yeah, hon. And then like, Linda's like, Barry, I can like, I'm an investigative reporter and I'm good at my job, so I know you're hiding something. Father Wallace isn't coming back. Like he's connected to the Speed Force. We can't come back from just fixing stuff time travel wise. So he's just gonna stay dead. Which I think it's like hilarious if that was accurate. That Jeremy Adams is like, yeah, I took all this time to build Wally back up after Tom King had him murder a bunch of people and run off. And I'm just like, fuck it, he's dead now. That's how I'm ending my run. Because there is a big reveal with really good art at the end. I'm not going to spoil it because it's funny to me. And I'm just, like I said, I'm not going to spoil it, but it had me smiling. I love this book. I'm going to go 9.5 out of 10.
Nice, man. That's high praise.
Yeah, no, I mean,
pick of the week.
It's right up there for sure. It's like this. I went through my two worst books to start, which was Bluebook and Joe Fixit, and then like from here, it's like, oh yeah, they're all just really good. So
yeah,
but yeah, no, like this, like I said, if you're not reading Flash, pick up that one book that came out that was like, oh yeah, this is everything you need to do beforehand, and then just read that and then get caught up that way because it's been so good, so much fun. Wally's dead now, so there's that too.
do you think he'll stay that way even at the end of the war?
I mean, I think Jeremy Adams is like, he's dead forever, never bringing him back. I'm gonna have Irie wearing Father Wallace's skull as a helmet from here on out.
Yeah, just don't read Tom Taylor's Titans book.
Like, yeah, I mean, there's that, and then there's also just the like that's actually gonna be Bart in the Titans book. You just don't know that yet. I'm gonna just keep building up. Like he's staying dead, guys. Don't look at the last 2 pages of this book. He is staying dead.
You really convinced me.
I know.
All right. Well, speaking of Tom Taylor's Titans, we've got Nightwing 102.
That's a mouthful, or hard to say quickly.
Tom Taylor's Titans. Tom Taylor's Titans.
Add in teen in there. Whew.
Tom Taylor's Teen Titans. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Just like it's a lot to get me to read this book. I don't know. It's fine. It's just I don't know where this is going. There's some, secret daughter of Blockbuster, and what's his name in
Is
hell?
her name Family Video?
No. Oh man, what is that guy? The guy that wants her? He's like the Prince of Hell right now or something.
Neuron or Necron? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Neuron.
Okay.
So Neuron hired this shapeshifter, for the price of his soul, to go steal the girl. But obviously the Titans intervene, and spoiler alert, they save the day. And then they're like, let's just go to hell and see what this contract was all about. So I guess they're going to do that. and then the backup is a Nightwing John team up, continuing from the last issue. And yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. It's fine. The art's really good as always on both stories. It's just a very mid story, as the kids say.
Yeah, I will
Still,
say
mhm.
it's just like I would be kind of annoyed because it's like I'm not buying. If it was me, I'm not buying a damn Titans or Superboy book or Superman book. I'm buying the Nightwing book. I want Nightwing stories. That gets old.
It does get old. It does get old indeed. Um, I mean, this is clearly just him trying. Like, I'm wondering if this isn't going to get canceled, and so he's like, check out what I want to be doing next. Um, or maybe it's not. I don't know, but it's just like, dude, we get it. You're writing Titans. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I guess even him doing this is like better than what I've been reading out of him.
Yeah.
Still, I just wish it were better. So give it like a 6. Like really it's fine, it's not like overly stupid like a lot of his other issues have been. So there you go.
So you said there was a shapeshifter in that book. One time I saw this ad on Craigslist. This guy was like, "Hey, I'll go into your septic tank. I'll make you a statue." And he's like, "Just call me the shapeshitter."
Even for you, that was pretty bad.
Let us know down below. Was that bad for me, or was it pretty funny? Okay, so next up, it's Superman #2. We get a first appearance in this one, but it's by Joshua Williamson with Jamal Campbell on the art. The art in this is so good. And we get a first appearance of a old lady like Moon Knight ripoff. What's her name? Where is it? It's Marilyn Moon Knight. She looks pretty cool, but at the same time, it's also like old Western Moon Knight ripoff.
Her name is Marilyn Moon Knight.
Moonlight. Sorry,
Oh,
I'm autistic.
Moonlight.
I messed up when I talked.
Okay, I was like, dude, how?
But yeah, so we get some Parasite stuff, and then we also get that character introduced. It's good. I like it a lot. Like this is a fun time, fun, good book.
I'm sad that I forgot it at work. I'll have to read
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you'll like it. You'll like it. I think. Yeah, I'm not super hot on old Maryland's design. I'll say that because it's like that. Like one of the like when um the Batman Who Laughs was going around, and like now like they're like, oh yeah, let's redo this design about 50 times. She's kind of got that same design where it's like, oh yeah, Raptor from that Tim Seeley Nightwing run, let's redo his design about 50 times. It's like similar with that mask. Like, Catwoman had the love interest that had the same exact design. It's the same thing. Like it's very similar to that, but she's got cowboy hat, which makes it kind of cooler.
Definitely does.
So yeah, for me, it's a good series. I enjoy it. I'm gonna go 9 out of 10.
Nice. I've got Strange and Shulk.
Oh yeah, you didn't do World's Finest?
No, I
Damn,
forgot it.
dude.
Yeah.
Forgetful Felix today, I swear.
I love that the first F name you thought it was Felix.
What else? What other? Give me like 5 other F names while I look for the creative team. This is World Finest number 13.
Or Freddie. I mean, those are the first two that come to mind.
That's the same name.
Frederick. Felicity.
Oh, okay. Frank.
Fantasia.
That was
Frank.
well.
So there you go. That there's 6.
There you go. I mean, damn.
You stand corrected, sir.
Yeah. I still think Felix is a little bit more well known than Fantasia.
Okay, well, says you.
Like, well, I'm going to text my friend Fantasia, who is an avid listener, and say, Casey doesn't care about you.
Exactly.
Okay, but this is World's Finest by Mark Waid and Dan Mora. As always, the art's really, really good. We get some Metamorpho stuff. So it's like, oh yeah, Dan Morrow drawing Metamorpho. Huh. Wonder if that's gonna be good. Spoiler alert, it's awesome. And yeah, so a little bit of a murder mystery, a who done it type of thing. And yeah, Jimmy Olsen turns out he's a mediocre detective. Maybe he's a bad detective. We don't know with the way that this issue ends. But I like it. It's a good time. The art's outstanding, story's good, characters are written well. I'm gonna go, and plus Metamorpho's in it. Like, who doesn't love Metamorpho? He's the coolest. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna give this another 9 out of 10.
Nice.
So now we just got our Marvel books. We're a couple of Marvel boys with these last two.
We can end on Strange since it's a number one if you want to.
Sounds good to me, man.
All right. She-Hulk number 11, written by Rainbow Rowell and art by Andre Genelette. Yeah, I thought this was pretty good. Art isn't as good as the usual artist.
Yeah.
But Jen's still looking fine as hell as always, right?
Yep. I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie. The two beefy babes in that first thing and their cut off shorts, it's like, boy, this is the aesthetic of muscle mommies that I do love.
Yep. Good stuff. Lots of fun little characters in it too, right off the bat, which I thought was cool.
Though I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's like, what are you doing there, Luke? You're the mayor. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get in a fist fight with She-Hulk, Titania, or Ben Grimm. It's like, yeah, you have a wife to get home to, bud. You don't need to be in this fight club. Maybe
And
find one with a
kids.
find one a little bit lower tier that's more your speed, bud. And then we get more of the like very well done. Yeah, this is gonna end horribly, but we don't want it to relationship that is She-Hulk and Jack. But yeah, no, I like this a lot.
I do too. Do you know the guy that she fights there towards the end? Okay,
No
I'm just
clue.
making sure. I'm like, dude, am I just like a shit comic fan that I don't know who this person is?
I mean, we might both be shit comic fans that don't know who this person is, but yeah, I have no clue. She-Hulk didn't seem to know either, so maybe she's a shit hero that doesn't
Well,
know.
that's true. You have a good point. But either way, definitely interested in where that's gonna go. But yeah, I like this a lot, man. I like it a lot. This one's probably a good old 9 out of 10. It's probably my pick of the week, honestly.
Yeah, I'd say 9.5 for me. And then to finish up with, it's Doctor Strange by Jed McKay and Pascal Ferry on the art. What'd you think, dude? Because I'm a fan.
I like it. I don't love the art always.
Really? I see. I
Yeah.
love the art throughout. I will say a knock. It felt like this went like, I know it's a first issue, dude. I love that part. No, I get what you're saying, but it's like it felt like it went a little long to me. Like, I
Yeah.
get it's the first issue, but it just felt like it went long. But yeah, we had basically Doctor Strange kind of catching up on different things, and he's like opening up a consultant firm with for magic based stuff. So that was fun. Um, they're helping out with refugees and stuff. And then it looks like we're gonna get another who done it type of thing. So that's cool. The backup story, and that will be like was less interesting, and to me is by Jed McKay, Annie McDonald, and Ian Herring. What do you think of the backup story? Because I wasn't hot on it.
I wasn't hot on it either. I basically just skimmed it until the end to see what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, like I was interested because I like both of those characters from Strange. Like I like Wong, and I don't remember the one person's name, but I like both of them. But it's just I don't know. It just didn't do much for me. Hope that gets better. But yeah, I like this. I like this issue a good bit. But yeah, I think Flash is my pick of the week after talking stuff out.
Yeah.
Is that
This is
probably eight?
still hmm?
I was about to say I'm probably at an 8.5 with this. I still like it, but Strange was better so far from
Yeah. I'm actually right at an 8.5 too, because I just didn't like it as much as She-Hulk, and I gave that a 9. So, but definitely a strong start. And like as someone who hasn't really read that much Doctor Strange, it's like I just like Jed McKay writing Strange a lot, so I'm gonna stick around for sure.
What did you think of the Moon Knight joke?
Oh, I thought it was funny.
I did too. It had me smiling.
Yeah,
Okay, man. What are you excited for? And
I'm excited for Action Comics, Dark Knights of Steel, because as much as I give shit to Tom Taylor, that one's one of his good ones. And then, man, there's just a lot out this week.
yep,
Probably like Dead Boy Detectives.
yeah, I got you, man. So for me, I am gonna say, oh shoot, I need to tell you to put Blue Beetle on my thing. I mean, you don't have to, but
Please do. I need someone to buy it.
yeah, I'm gonna say Clobbering Time #1 because like I've seen that advertised. I'm like, boy, all the way for old school Casey. Daredevil #9. I'm excited for that. And I'm so excited for Clobbering Time. I almost said it twice on accident. And then I'll say Tim Drake Robin. I'm like finally gonna get into it. No, Planet Hulk World Breaker should be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot though. I could have said Thor, could have said Red Sonja. Also, Doom Patrol's coming out, so like,
Yeah,
we'll just have to see.
yeah. Okay, now C2E2 is coming up. We're both excited. What are you most like 4 things you're most excited about seeing while we're there or doing or
Sure.
buying or whatever?
The first one's gonna be meeting Dan Mora. Definitely plan on getting some stuff signed by him. Another thing is interviewing some creators. I think as of right now, Casey and I plan on our next episode just being sort of the C2E2 episode. So hopefully we'll have some fun stuff on there for you. My third thing is going to be the Sunday deals where people are like, I don't want to take this back home, so it's half off or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the fourth thing is just spending time with my old buddy Casey. We haven't got to do this in a while, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty stoked.
It's either you get married or a comic book convention. That's how we get to hang out.
Yep. Yep, that is being an adult now.
Yeah. So for me, I'm gonna say I'm excited just about like I'll try to do different things than you. The con pizza, $8 for one slice. Now I'm excited for like trying to just hunt for old comics. So like I've decided I'm gonna try to get the rest of the amalgam comics that I don't have. I'm gonna say that's gonna be like that's one of my goal ones that I'm gonna try to get, and then like also that Fantastic Four run that I'm like obsessed with because it's like such a weird run, but I really like. So I'm like looking for those. Then like also just hunting for Godzilla stuff because I love hunting for that and trying to be like, hey, can you like cut $5 off? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh, come on. Like, no. I'm like, please, no. I'm like, fine, I'll pay full price.
There's at every show, Casey is like, come look at this Godzilla figure. And we look at it and it's like $800.
Yeah. That's it's fucking crazy. But but like this year I've like decided I might try to get like one X plus figure, but like for the most part, I'm just looking for carded Trendmaster. So we'll see how that goes. And then I'm also gonna get another tattoo. I've decided, unless like I can't get like I just can't, unless they're like, oh, it's gonna be $1,000 and we don't have any openings until this time. And I'm like, well, fuck it. But like Mike got like basically a walk up, it sounded like when he did it last time. So I'm just gonna try that again. And I'm just gonna get a flying Gamera on my arm. So
Nice.
that'll be fun. And then yeah, just hanging out, trying to, you know, interview people and work on our social skills because we don't have very much in the way of that.
We sure don't. Hey, Dan Mora, want to read our Sonic Mad Lib? He'd be like, what the? Get these people out of here.
Or he'd be like, do you want to read mine? And we're like, did we become best friends? And he's like, no.
Like, do you
I mean,
guys want me
maybe
to? Do you want me to draw yours?
yeah. It's like the Epstein one, right? I listen. If you guys are like not on the YouTube one and you're like, what Epstein Mad Lib? Watch the YouTube video for this week. It gets
Yeah.
wild.
Yep. It involves Epstein the bee.
Yep.
So, all right, guys. Well, that is the end of the episode. So, closing plugs, if you would, please go to facebook.com/2worldspodcast and give the page a like. And also follow us on Twitter at 2_worlds_PC and on Instagram at 2worldspod. You can email us at 2worldspodcast@gmail.com. And also go to our YouTube channel. It's 2worldspodcast on YouTube and subscribe.
Leave us a comment down below. Tell us what you liked, what you didn't like, who you're voting for, what you're voting not for. And also, let's say you're at C2E2 this weekend, okay? You're there. You see us, but you're like, oh, these celebrities that are the Two Worlds podcast boys, I can't talk to them. But then you see somebody off by himself that's looking at it. It's just like, who are these guys? Like, they don't know. They don't know how great we are. You can go up to him and say, hey, Felix. And he's like, how'd you guess my name? Like, well, it's a very common F name. It's like, Felix, how about you just go listen to them? They're like, well, listen to what? It's like, they're called the Two Worlds Podcast. They're amazing. They'll change your life. Then he'll be like, okay. He'll drop what he's doing. He's probably holding something, fragile. He'll drop it. It'll shatter. He won't
Amazing,
care.
amazing fantasy 15.
Yeah. And then he'll go back to his hotel and he'll put the earbuds in and he'll listen to every single episode on 2 speed. That's how he gets through it all. And he'll come back to you and he'll say, hey, it's me, Felix. Like, yeah, I know Felix. I remember you. Like, I listened to all of it. They are so fucking good. I can't talk to them. And then you're like, well, that's fine. Just keep listening. Follow them on Instagram and Twitter. They do the closing plugs at the end of everything. Just do what they say there. It's like, okay. And tell your friends. I don't have any. My parents named me Felix. They knew I wouldn't have any friends. It's like, yeah, it's gonna stay that way, Felix. See ya. And you leave. Never to see him again. So just do that.
Simply do that. All right, guys. We'd love to stay in chat, but Casey has to teach me the ways of magic. So we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
So did Tilda Swinton just play herself in that movie? Bye.
I don't know. I saw a thing. We're still going, but whatever. I saw a
Yeah.
thing where she was like, I feel so bad that they whitewashed this casting as she's swimming in her millions of
Yeah.
dollars. Anyway, bye, guys.